Wow! That was shit!
Exorcist Believers, directed by David Gordon Green, and is the official direct sequel, at least currently right now, to the original Exorcist. When two girls disappear into the woods and return 3 days later with no memory of what happened to them, the father of one girl seeks out Chris McNeil, who'd been forever altered by what happened to her daughter 50 years ago. Now, I would say that is the official plot of the film, but Chris McNeil is basically just reduced to a cameo. Realistically, after that point when she comes in, the movie just does what Halloween Kills do, I guess, because recycled ideas, whether they worked or not, should work now still, you know. Where do I begin with this one too? Man, I've been watching a lot of bad movies, and I still got a few more left to go. Now, I really enjoyed the first Exorcist film. It has been a while since I have watched it, so I didn't know how it's going to hold up on a rewatch, but I'm thinking about rewatching again for this year's Halloween, and I'll give you guys my review on that when the time comes. Exorcist Believer, I didn't know what to expect really. There's been a lot of possession films over the years that have tried to copy what The Exorcist has done. Some are good, but many had paled in comparison and failed miserably, especially the direct sequels, at least most of them. I heard Exorcist 3 was pretty good. But David Gordon Green is a director that I really do like. I do think he has made some good stuff before, and I did enjoy his first two outings into horror with the Halloween series, though Ends kind of was a mixed bag for me. Now, I didn't know how to feel when he was announced as director for The Exorcist, because The Exorcist and Halloween are two completely different types of horror. One is a fun slasher film, and the other is a serious possession film. And they both delve into different themes and topics, and they're completely different types of films in general. So it's really weird that Universal put $400 million into this man's hand and we're like, go make this trilogy, which probably is not going to be a trilogy, or he's not going to direct a trilogy, I don't know, because this film was quite terrible in my opinion, predictable, soulless, and just downright not scary. There was one aspect in the literal middle of the film where it ruined an aspect of the original movie, and if you've seen the film, you probably know what I'm talking about. It's the introduction to Chris McNeil's character, and she is talking about her experiences from the first movie, and how she described it was just cringe worthy, honestly. It really felt out of place, the dialogue felt unnatural, because that wasn't the point of the original film. And anyone who has seen the original movie, I'm gonna go on a tangent, so I should just stop right now and just continue on the review. Just overall, that whole scene right there was just weird, poorly written, and it did not introduce her character the best way I thought it could have possibly have done. As for the other characters, there is this father character of one of the daughters who had been possessed in this film. That is he kind of has a character arc. He is more of an atheist now. He used to be religious into Christianity and Catholicism, and he just been through a few experiences. But the movie does jack shit to show us. Instead, he just has the character just tell us. Now, this is rule one in storytelling in film. Show, don't tell. This movie does a lot of telling, and it is quite frankly annoying. It just makes the movie entirely boring. Not only that, the scares in the movie don't even help with the entertainment factor because the scares are poorly done. The editing is choppy as hell. I don't know what is supposed to be scary or what the scene is trying to convey. The acting performances are weird. How each scare scene was staged was really off, and there are quite a few jump scares that really did get on my nerves. And once we get to the actual exorcism part, because the horror of the film throughout just didn't register to me, and I didn't care about the story or the characters, I checked out of the exorcism part, and I didn't really care for what would happen. And that's mostly due to the fact that the film tries to hammer in one of the same messages from Halloween Kills, and that is of community coming together in order to stop a force greater than themselves. And it was quite cringeworthy in Halloween Kills, though it has a lot of entertainment factor if you're a slasher fan. But it is begrudgingly annoying here. Like, it downright feels like it thinks it's the Avengers at some points, and I just couldn't buy into the ridiculousness of this situation, mostly because it involves characters who I barely got to know, and has characters who I don't even know at all. The only person that I really know slightly are this family of the other girl, though they don't have that much screen time to really register as characters. Like, I don't know much about them or their home lives. If the movie showed more of those characters, it would have me care for their daughter too and what happens to their daughter. And I understand more of the main father that we follow because that's who we follow. But really, his performance is so dull that I don't even know if he even cares about what happens in this scene. And there's just too many reaction shots of him just seeing what happens. He's barely doing any actions. Maybe he says a prayer or two, but really, he is quite the boring protagonist. And I didn't care for what happens to him or his daughter. The movie also does very little to set these characters up. Like, they do set them up, but I did not really get a good sense of what their relationship is like. It just felt like generic stuff we've seen from every other movie, and then she gets possessed. I wish that the movie could have had us spend more time with the characters, have us care about them more, and stage the horror around that of these two families, and just focus on the two families. That's all you need. You don't need to bring a bunch of people of different faiths or religions here, because that just makes the whole story just feel confuddled. I get what it's trying to go for. I kind of admire it, but the execution was poorly done, and it downright offends me as a horror fan because it failed at the one job it had to be: scary, intense, suspenseful. And without good story or characters, no matter how good or how well filmed your scares are, I'm not going to care. I'm just not going to care. And the film doesn't even have good filmmaking to back up a good story, which it also doesn't have. This movie has nothing really. Yeah, the production is slick. The performances are fine. The lighting is fine. The camera angles are fine. But We are in 2024. This movie came out in 2023. We expect, even from student films, well shot, well put together scenes. Anyone could do this in this day and age. Right now, what we are more focused on now that technology has improved, is good storytelling. This movie doesn't have that. It is a boring horror film with bad characters, poor writing, and it just wasn't scary. And for that, I'm going to give The Exorcist Believer a D. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you guys next time.